Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to pop on in. You know that's my phrase, pop on in. But I wanted to pop on in and just talk to those parents who have students enrolled in school full time. Guys, it is the month of November. We are coming to a break. And right after that break, we're going into the December, January holiday. So you're going to even have an even longer break. Use this right now. Use this time as an opportunity to prepare your kiddos and yourself for those breaks. What can we do? Use those times as an opportunity to identify any gaps, any issues, any struggles that your student, your child is having. How can you do that? Ask the teacher. If you have a good teacher and a teacher that's really attentive, that teacher can give you some information as to where your child stands in the core subjects. When my child was in school full time, I would focus on the areas of math, science, English language arts, and writing. You can choose to do all the subjects to include social studies or not. As a middle school student, go ahead and do all of the subjects, okay? As an elementary student, I would focus on the core: reading, writing, arithmetic. And depending on your state, if you have something called, in Texas, we have something called the STAR exam. It's the end of the year state exam. If your child has one of those in your state, then you want to focus on not only reading, writing, and arithmetic, but you also want to focus on whatever subject that test is going to be on at the end of the year. Start preparing now. Once you identify those gaps, again, either through talking to the teachers, you can look through your child's tests, quizzes, and schoolwork. Hopefully you are reviewing those, you are looking at those, and you are having your child make corrections, even if they don't have to turn it back in. I used to have my child make corrections just so that I could understand and my son could understand why they got the problem wrong and what they should have done in order to get the right answer. So once you've gathered all that information, you can also, once you gather that information, you can also go to the school's website, either your actual school's website or the state's educational website, and you can pull down the skills, abilities, and knowledge, or they may call it scope and sequence, for your child's specific grade level. In the state of Texas, they not only provide us the grade level, but they break it down by subject, y'all. Hopefully your school district or state does that. If they don't, ask the teacher. The teacher has a scope and sequence. The teacher knows what subjects they are teaching by quarter, by semester. Ask them for a copy. Ask for a meeting. You bring your pen and pad and you write information down if they are unable or unwilling to give you a copy. Along with that, whether or not that works or whether or not you get what you need from the educators and from the school and or district or state website, give your kids some tests. It doesn't have to be a formal test. You can give them problems. Let's talk about math. If they're in the 6th grade, give them some problems from 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. See where they are. If they are in the 3rd grade, give them some problems from 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. If they're in high school, give them problems from, upper and lower grades. You want to see what they know at this particular time. Sorry guys, I'm driving and the road is bumpy. I did not realize that was going to happen. I hope you forgive me, but you all know the best time for me to have a sit-down chat is when I'm in my car driving. Right now I'm driving from work. Who is this calling me? Let me ignore that call because I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to you right now. So once you get all that, like I said, give them some tests. You want to identify whether or not there are gaps, again, reading, writing, arithmetic, and whatever subjects they're taking for their state test. You want to identify if they have not mastered or fully comprehended subjects that they should have already, or topics and subtopics and concepts that they should have already mastered or become familiar with from the prior grades, and where they currently are at their grade level at the or within the semester or quarter that they're in. If they are supposed to know the Pythagorean theorem at this time, you want to make sure they know that and they fully understand it. If they are supposed to know about line segments at this point, or algebraic expressions, or integers, or absolute values, or exponents, or whatever they're supposed to know at this particular time. If they're supposed to know how to write a 3-body paragraph, if they're supposed to know the difference between the middle, beginning, and end of a story, or the difference between theme and setting, or if they're in chemistry and they're supposed to know the periodic table at this point in time, you want to assess, determine, make a plan. Assess and make a determination, make a plan. So we're going to identify, assess and determine, then make a plan. And you are going to execute that plan of helping them fill in those gaps. Either get a tutor, either you sit there with them on the weekends or after you get off work. I know you're busy, I know you're tired, but guys, we have to put in the time and the effort to educate our children. Educate your own, y'all. Even if it requires even more limited sleep that you probably already don't have, right? Or have. You might have to just bite the bullet. Pain is temporary. We have to make sure our kids are successful. No one else is going to make sure our kids are successful except for you. Each and every one of you watching this video right now. It is your responsibility. Take ownership and close those gaps. Identify the issues. Analyze and determine what needs to be done. Create a plan and take action, y'all. Take action. If you can't afford a tutor, if you can't do it yourself for whatever reasons, free online resources, research it, find it out, look at YouTube, look through Netflix, see what's available. Are there any online tools that you can use to help evaluate your child? Are there any online tools like Khan Academy that you can use to help close the gap? There are so many things on YouTube that are absolutely free that'll help your children enhance what they already know, and it will help your child get clarification or further understanding on some of the topics that they find difficulty with. Okay, so parents, do that. If your child is in upper middle school, high school, help them identify their own problems, evaluate, and then help them create their own plan of action. Allow them to take ownership of their education. Okay, if your child is not going to do it and they're not into it and they just don't care, I can't help you with that, honey. I cannot help you with that. That is another type of issue that I am not able to speak on. But for those who have children who are going to listen and who are going to bite the bullet and do what they're told because you told them to, and or because they take ownership in their education and they want to, this will work. Okay, so if your child does that, then if your child does that, hopefully you'll see an improvement throughout the rest of the year, and then they can go back to school in January with a much better understanding of basic concepts that they should have learned. Because when they come back to school, y'all, more than likely they're not going to get a refresher. They're going to move on. And normally in the month of February and beyond, it's test prep time. So the child is not only going to learn whatever is in that scope and sequence or calendar for them to learn, but they're going to start prepping for their state end of the year exam. So again, parents, make sure your children are fully equipped. They have what they need to be successful and be in that process of helping them be successful. Again, identify, assess, make a plan, execute that plan throughout the upcoming break. You can do the same thing for your spring break, the same thing for your summer break. You can do this for any extended break. When I say extended break, if you have a week or longer, that's a moment that you can use to do just what I'm talking about. Does that make sense? To do just what I'm talking about? To do what I'm asking you to consider doing. Okay? You can also, outside of these extended breaks, utilize, like I said earlier in this video, weekends, after school when there is no homework, or when there is a small amount of homework. You can also be active in their homework and their schoolwork and take a participatory role in the process. Don't be a bystander to your children's education. Participate actively. Ask questions. Ask to see things. Have them redo things. Have them have a conversation with you about what's taking place, what they're struggling with, what they need help with, so you can identify the proper resources that are necessary, and you can make sure you give them what they need to be successful. Okay? What about if the child is not struggling, if they don't have an issue or gap or anything that necessitates you doing what I just mentioned? Well, assign them a project. You can give them a book to read. If you have required books that you want your children to read, but we have a book list that we want our children to have read before they leave our home. That book list is primarily African-centric. It has a lot of biographies. It has a lot of concepts that we want them to understand and master, biblical, spiritual concepts, financial concepts, character building, again, autobiographies, biographies. It's a long list of books that our children will read before they depart our home. If you have anything like that, or if you don't, you're interested in doing that, go ahead and do that. And have your children read a book and have dialogue with you. There's a movie that's on Netflix that you can find on YouTube, on Amazon Prime, on video, wherever. Maybe you can watch the movie together after you read the book. You can do STEM projects. That's always great for any grade level. You can do STEM projects. You can do family STEM projects. You can have the child do a specific project for the family. You can incorporate life skills. You can do personal and professional development. You can have them take an online course throughout school or through other homeschool academies that are online. You can have them take a class of some sort. May it be an educational course or a fun course, a science course. It can be an extracurricular activity that they can be involved in. Just keep the children involved and interested. And of course, you want to cater to their learning style, cater to their interests. Ask them, what do you want to learn more about? Is there anything that you haven't had the opportunity, or you haven't been given the opportunity to dive into? Do you want to write a book? Are you interested in writing a comic book? Do you want to create a play? Do you want to learn how to sew? Do you want to learn how to cook? Whatever that thing is, of course, within your means, your budget, allow them to explore. Okay, they want to learn how to paint. They love anime. They want to learn a foreign language, whatever it is. Do that. Even if you have identified learning gaps or issues or areas of difficulty in a subject for school, you can still have them do that other stuff that I just mentioned. Just, in my opinion, I can't tell you what to do. The mind is a muscle, if you did not know that. And you have to exercise it. Even if it's as simple as doing one of those very intricate puzzles or intricate word searches or anything like that. If your child has a mental or intellectual or learning disability of some sort, the information that I'm sharing today may not work for your specific child, but that doesn't mean you are unable to identify issues, problems, gaps. You're still able to assess the situation. You're still able to create a plan of action, and you're still able to execute that plan of action. You may require some professional services, some professional assistance. You may have to bring in other people to assist you in doing those things, but it doesn't negate the fact that you still have to do it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I truly, truly, truly appreciate all your subscriptions, your likes, your thumbs up in the videos, the sharing. The sharing is caring. My daughter always says that. Sharing is caring, mommy. And I also appreciate when you comment. As always, y'all, be blessed and make it a super fantastic, great day, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. All right, y'all. Bye.